welcome. You're watching the ET Money Show with me, Kavita Thapliyal, and this is a show where we sort out all your personal finance queries. And today we have a very exciting show lined up for you. And let me just take you through to the lineup that we have for today. First up, we will analyze the power of investing at the right age. We will be joined by Atul Shinghal, founder and CEO Scripbox. Next, as the government brings cryptocurrencies under money laundering provisions, we will analyze what it means for crypto going ahead. And we will be joined by Smith Tech Diligence Delta Blockchain Fund. So that's the lineup for the day today. But let's begin with the top headlines of the hour. Markets are back in the red with Nifty shuttling shop below 17,600, 40 out of 50 Nifty constituents decline, all broader and sectoral indices decline. Reliance Retail announces the launch of the iconic beverage brand Campa for a new age India. The Campa portfolio will initially include Campa Cola, Campa Lemon and Campa Orange in the sparkling beverage category. India's diplomacy prowess is once again at display as PM Modi hopes to boost bilateral ties with Australia, whose PM is on a 4-day visit to India. The two leaders kicked off the fourth test match. The Aussies won the toss and chose to bat first. A move that could tighten oversight of digital assets. The centre brings crypto trading under the ambit of Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Crypto exchanges will now be required to perform KYC of their clients and users of the platform. Anticipating unprecedented power demand in summer's Power Ministry holds a review meeting with stakeholders to ensure adequate coal supply. ET now has learned that the ministry has reached out to railways and directed them to ensure availability of rakes. Known for putting a smile on your face, actor, filmmaker, comedian Satish Kaushik passes away at the age of 66 due to a heart attack. Tributes pour in from across the Indian film fraternity. In the world of investments and savings, we are often advised to start early in life. After all, the younger you are, the more risk you can afford to take. But did you know that every age offers a set of opportunities that can help you unlock the full potential of your investments? Whether you are in your early 20s or late 50s, there's opportunity at every stage. And to understand more about these opportunities and strategies, let's welcome on board Atul Shinghal, founder and CEO Scripbox. Atul, good evening and welcome to the show. Today we are going to talk about a very crucial aspect of investment and which is when to invest and for what to invest. And we have a huge lineup for you where today's conversation discussion is divided for 3 age groups. You know, it's 25, 40 and 50, where we analyze that the important goals of your life, for example, your kids' education, your retirement, or maybe even buying a house needs to be taken at these particular ages. How can one really plan for it? But before that, how important is the age factor in your investment journey, Atul?
Thank you very much for having me on the show, Kavita. This is a really important topic for all our investors. As they say, horses for courses. And as you rightly said, it's very, very important to start early. As we tell everybody in our classes, right? We give an example of somebody who's starting at 25 and putting aside, say, a lakh a year. And stops at 35 for other obligations, and they should not, but if they do, and somebody who starts at 35 and they both remain invested till they're 60, the person who stopped at 35 his corpus will be 3x, or their corpus will be 3x the value of somebody who started at 35. So starting late is a bad idea. So start early, remain invested is an absolutely essential part of any investing strategy. That said, the other thing which you talked about is age specific, and in India it's becoming even more critical, right? As the longevity of our ages increases, people used to plan their lives for till 70, 75, 80. We're now recommending 90, 95, 100. So even if you're retiring at 60, and a lot of the youngsters think that's very late, you still have 30 more years of retired life ahead of you. So goal planning based on what you want to achieve. And because if you're retiring at 60 and want to live to 90, that means the corpus you have created at that point in time is sufficient and inflation adjusted for your future needs. And so as an example, a fixed deposit is not a great product for you when you're 60 and retired. You have to have a blended asset allocation strategy. The asset allocation has to have a blend of your short-term needs, your long-term needs, and inflation adjusted. So coming back to your question around, different strategies for different goals. Some people want to buy a first home. Some people want to buy a bigger home after that. Some people want to put their children through college. For example, the IIM Ahmedabad fees, as an example, has gone up, I think 7x or something in the last 13 years. And just planning around this inflation is really critical. Say, example, you're planning your children to go abroad. You should assume a 10% inflation from the day to day and over the 4 years that your child is in college. So different ages require different planning. When you're young, you're planning around buying your first home. When you're slightly older, you're planning around your children's education. When you're slightly older, you're planning around your retirement. But does not mean that you plan only in these stages. You should actually put money aside for all three from the very beginning. That's the simple answer to your question.
All right, Atul, now let's take it age-wise, okay? Let's say we are talking about a 25-year-old investor. The goals that he has or she has for him or herself is buying a house, that is after 10 years. The corpus needed is 50 lakh. Kids' education, which will be after 15 years, and corpus needed could be around 50 lakhs. And retirement goal, corpus needed 5 crores. So how can this person start with what kind of amount?
So somebody starting at 25, I mean, first of all, how much you should put aside? I'll do the calculation and give me a second. I'll come back to the specific question. Now, if you're 25 years old, first and foremost, we think you should save money in 3 buckets. One, you should have a certain amount of money in an emergency fund, which is, say, 6 months of expenses, because we don't know the uncertainty today. It could be health, it could be job losses, it could be anything. So put first thumb rule, put 20% or 25% of whatever you earn every month aside. Split that into 3 buckets, build up a corpus for an emergency, build up a short-term corpus, right? You might want to upgrade your motorcycle, you might want to upgrade a laptop or buy a new phone or whatever that is. But if you're saving for that, now to your specific question, I think about a 12 to 15,000 rupee monthly investment, if you're starting at 25, will meet all of these requirements quite efficiently. So if you start at, just go back to that calculator. If you're saving around 15,000 rupees a month, you will be able to buy a house when you're 35. You will have enough money for your children's education when they go to college and have sufficient capital, provided you're increasing this corpus by 8 to 10% every year. So it's not that every time you get a salary increase, you start spending more. You just start saving that much more. So to your question, 15,000 rupees a month will get you there.
15,000 a month for all 3 goals, Atul? Is that what you're saying for buying a house?
Absolutely.
Is 10 years away and kids' education 15
Depends
years
on what
away?
the house is worth. So just make that
50 lakhs.
15,000, yeah. Just give me a second.
Sure.
Yeah, 15,000, absolutely. You will get a house for, you will be able to buy a house at 50 lakh rupees. Or maybe you can put down a deposit and put a bit of EMI at that point in time. At 45, you'll have sufficient money of 2.5 crores. And when you retire, you won't be surprised if you have, at 55, you have 10 crores.
Oh,
right? So this is actual money.
Yeah. Benefit of starting early, that is.
And remaining invested, right? And stating, that's why I said, so if you put, like I said, if you talked about this 15,000 and you put 10,000, 5,000, and when that goal is met, you top up the next one, you will get to that. And that's the beauty of investing. And every goal, har sapne ka apna plan, as we call it. So have a plan for every goal and execute on that plan and you will get there. And what is surprising, the power of compounding, Kavita, and which everybody says the 7th wonder of the world or the 8th wonder of the world, it just helps you grow the money exponentially as you keep invested. So 15,000 rupees a month, increase by 8% every year, and you'll get there.
All right. So important to line up your goals, identify your goals, and accordingly have a financial plan in a very well diverse manner. Thank you so much, Atul, for being on the show and helping our viewers with this today. On that note, let's take a quick break, and after that, we'll talk about cryptocurrencies.